Hey, this is Taylor Buff, and this is the Darkened Hour. We are a collective of geek culture enthusiasts that offer commentary on films, shows, comic books, and much, much more. And today's topic is The Walking Dead. And with me is...
Count Drogo.
I was going to pick a character this week. I didn't think of it. So I'll just say simply Aesop the Alchemist.
Oh my god.
Oh, wow, kept it simple.
What?
I didn't feel like doing the whole thing.
All right, fair enough. Fair enough. We gotta give him a break
I
sometime.
got that itis right now. I try to make myself fat eating some Mickey D's on the way here.
You were really scarfing down them nuggets.
I was forcing them into my body.
So, to get right into it, because this is the first time we've had an episode dedicated to The Walking Dead.
In a while.
In a long,
first time on
long
YouTube,
time.
anyway.
Especially on YouTube. We've talked about it when we used to go Facebook Live.
Yeah.
And it would be, quick so-and-so, back and forth. But now we have a trio of people talking. That's not just me and you going back and forth about it. And now we have Count
that. It was just me and you.
And Josh is like, I don't care. So...
he only cleared when Glenn died.
So now we're in season 8. Right, there's 3 episodes that have been live at this point. How are you guys feeling thus so far?
Avoiding throwing shade. But I am very happy about this season because I was not, watching Walking Dead made me feel dead inside. I was just sitting there and I couldn't deal with it anymore. I just stopped caring immediately. All this hype for Negan only for me to get bored with him after a while.
Wow, that's so sad.
So this season is actually a lot better because it's given everybody some like Super Saiyan girth. And considering how like all these 3 villages have been getting bashed by just the saviors, it felt good for them to finally get a taste of victory.
Nice.
Opening episode obviously was like one of the most viewed episodes they had. Their 100th episode.
Yes.
So rightfully so, the good people, if you will, deserve that victory. Episode 1, and then obviously it all goes downhill in second episode. But it wasn't too heavy in that episode yet. It's just that me being the nitpicker that I am, like I said, trying not to throw shade. Yes, yet it was a lot of dumb decisions made that could have easily avoided some of the problems they fell into.
Poor decision-making skills. How do you feel, Count Drogo?
I just don't like when people are saving other people that shouldn't be saved at all.
I
Irony
agree.
of being saviors.
Irony.
Saving
So
saviors and-
I have a question for you guys. It's based on the first episode, I believe. Gabriel. Oh, he want to walk off the set already.
That's why do you think I said episode 1 and then I started talking about bad decisions after giving us so much good things?
Okay.
Man.
Gabriel is our lovable coward mostly. Like, he tries his best, but
coward.
he's very self-aware that he's not the strongest of the group. And you feel bad for him for that. So when Gregory of Hilltop, right, he's a mess. He betrayed his people.
Chaotic neutral.
Yeah, he's just like, he's an opportunist. He's like, okay, I'm going to save myself. So I'm going to throw my people underneath the bridge, just underneath the bus, and they get run over times by saviors. So hell breaks loose, right? Guns are blazing, and he's all in the middle of it. All of the undead have come to swarm him, and Gabriel sees him by himself. Yeah.
That scene. Cover your kids' ears. Bullshit. That entire scene was bullshit. Negan's sitting there with a bat, dick swinging in the wind, chest out, oiled up.
Yo, his chest was...
And Rick missed.
Right.
He counted to... He's like, I'm going to count down. 10, 9, 8, 7. And boom, boom, boom.
Right.
And you missed?
And he missed.
You missed.
He's got,
you mean to tell me the guy who can aim down and still get headshots yards away couldn't hit him with an automatic... Excuse me, but what?
Why give him that shot then? Why make him that close?
Exactly. It's like...
So, to continue, Gabriel goes out of his way to save Gregory, which we all knew from that point was a poor decision, right? So he goes and he tries to save him. Oh, watch out. Gregory turns his back on you, steals your car, and drives away. And now you're stuck with all the undead, and then you end up in a room with Negan, the last person you want to see right now, which you didn't have to see. You could have drove around right back to Hilltop with your people, but you decide to stay here and be a hero, which is not in your character. You step out of character, and now you're trapped.
I wouldn't call it necessarily stepping out of
Wearing your
character.
shit
It's him literally trying to get his redemption. Ever since they fought against the Saviors, he's been trying to level up, like doing exactly what Eugene kept failing at doing, is leveling up.
Right.
So I give him credit where like he
was the wrong person.
He hated himself for letting other people down and just saving himself, being selfish. So he tried to help other people.
Yeah.
So he tried to help this guy, even though the guy's a bad dude. He's like, okay, there's still hope in the world is what he's looking at. But I'm sorry, I wouldn't have wasted my time saving that dude.
No, it was a waste of effort.
He barely got Rick out of there, and he stayed behind to ensure Rick got out of there. It means you had that small window opportunity just to save yourself, and you still went to save someone else, and then they betray you.
Right. So with that being said, right, I felt as if he, right, you said a good word you used was redemption.
Yeah,
that's a very good word, and I felt that Gabriel has been dying for it, literally. Now he's in a room with Negan. Now we haven't revisited that room
at all. Yeah.
What do you guys think is happening?
Are you wearing your shit pants?
Remember, you ever saw the movie with LL Cool J? I forget the other actor's name, but it was In Too Deep.
Oh no, I don't think I've seen that.
Wow, you got to see that movie. It's about a narc, undercover cop, and LL plays a crime lord.
Mm-hmm.
And when you first meet him, he's kind of like this lovable dude. Like, you're like, how is he a crime lord? Why is he like number one on why the cops always on him? How could he be such a villain when he's this family guy? He's always cracking jokes. He's happy. He goes to grandma's house and get pie. Like, real lovable guy. And then someone in his clique, I forgot how it went down. I forget what he did. I forget whatever betrayal this member of his gang, if you will, did. They had him naked on a pool table, stuffing a pool cube up his ass.
Wow.
So I was gonna make a joke referencing that with that baseball bat and Gabriel, but since you hadn't seen In Too Deep, it's a good movie. Check it out.
Yeah,
that's one of the scenes.
That
movie is rough.
This is gonna be humiliating for him because Negan has nothing to do but degrade
he's
him.
a bargaining chip somehow.
Yeah,
Negan's a smart guy. At this point, he's like he knows he's trapped. So okay, we'll be trapped together, I guess.
Yeah, he's using him as a lifeline right now. That's what Gabriel's gonna end up being.
What do you think, Count Drogo?
I mean, on top of the fact that Negan said the greatest line in episode 1 of season 8 was like, "Hey, I don't want to come out here with my dick swinging. We all still want to play whose dick is bigger because we all know it's mine."
But just in case it is like,
but just in case that I find out that it's not, I'm gonna run.
I saw right through that ruse when he was talking.
Oh,
like, you're trying to stay strong and like
he's
look
posturing.
big.
That's all that he's doing is posturing.
And that's why I'm glad that part of this plan is taking pictures of every time they humiliate the saviors.
Because they do it to other people. Because they took pictures of when he smashed people's heads in.
Yeah.
They take pictures and they keep track of all of this kind of stuff so people can find it. Seeing Rick take pictures was kind of like weird. It was a weird thing.
It was funny though.
It's very interesting.
It was funny because he actually took pictures of it when he was running away and he smiled. He's like, Polaroid boy.
Legit.
So
he's serving Negan at breakfast, but he took the G out his waffle. So all he has left is his ego.
Literally, that's it. Negan's being exposed, and I like that. I like that Rick has come back. He has a little swagger in his voice now. He's like, I don't know if y'all want to die out here. That's on you. He's called all their names out. It's I know you, I know you, I know you.
And Eugene tried to talk, and he's like, no, I know who you are.
I know. We don't care who you are, Eugene. That was so humiliating.
Let's talk about how he was holding that gun, though. Like, when he was talking to Negan, he's like over here holding the gun down on the holster, and it looked like a sword right there. I'm like, what are you about to
how he was resting on it.
He's like, yeah. Right. I was like, yeah.
So, I'm going to move on to another scene. So, we have Gregory showing up to Hilltop, groveling to Maggie. It was I was so cringe. It was so embarrassing.
It was cringe. Yes, that is the exact feeling.
Oh, Greg, where's the pride?
There's no.
Where's the dignity?
He had none because he was always. The best way to put him is.
He's a kiss ass for one thing.
Oh, I'm trying to think of like the characteristic it is, or a character that fits him, and something that's not so recent. But right now, I can only think of the recent one, which is the Grand Master in Thor.
Right.
He's so powerful when he's on top, and he's so. I can stay and do whatever the hell I want.
He loves the armor. He loves the look of power.
Yeah, the power by
he gets off on that.
Yeah, just because of his position.
Yeah,
but he has no real strength. If you catch my drift, you know. So for him to lose all that power, be humiliated on both ends, the side he betrayed doesn't accept him. The side he went to because of the betrayal clearly didn't want him.
Because Negan doesn't like that anyway.
Exactly.
Negan doesn't respect like slimy dudes. Like remember that other kid who got stabbed up? In front of the pool table. So happened to that dude. Like no, he doesn't like. He used you to try to mess with him a little bit. It didn't work because Maggie has always been the leader, the unofficial leader.
Unofficial leader of Hilltop.
Right.
Ever since she first showed up there, people sided behind her.
Should Maggie have let Greg in?
Nah.
This is a power move on her part.
No.
This was like some.
There's some Daenerys choice here. I
Yeah,
feel like it's like Tyrion talking to Daenerys.
Yeah, like, do I let you in even though you literally would have sold all of my people out to the saviors?
Having him left out there in the world, he's
cruel.
no threat.
Yeah.
Cruel, true, but hey.
He's weak on the inside and the outside, and I think that's the saddest part about
the
him.
problem is having him in the village. Now he can sabotage anything because no one's going to side with him again.
That's
But
it. He has no power.
Somebody as desperate as him,
He'll find a way.
you know, snakes have their venom until you bleed it out of them.
Mm-hmm.
And he's not bled out yet.
He's got one last
He's got one
ringer
last bite,
move.
yeah.
He's got one last
That's
bite.
what I'm afraid of.
And that's a theme that goes off on these last couple episodes. Who can we trust anymore?
No one.
You know,
Hence when Jesus
Oh.
and Tara. Oh my God! First of all, she's waifu for life. We
yeah,
already know that.
waifu for lifeu.
She's always been waifu, and her with
God.
Jesus is like I was behind Tara the whole way.
Yeah.
The whole way through.
Yeah, it's an ugly thing. What Tara and Morgan are pretty
Morgan
much.
is constantly back and forth. He lives in a gray area.
He lives.
Yo,
He doesn't
for
know
real.
whether he wants to be executioner or he wants to be peacemaker.
He never knows.
Who kills for peace? And that's what it comes down to.
Yeah.
I know Jesus was literally playing up to his name,
Literally playing
turning
to
his
name.
cheek, forgiveness. You know, we have to bring them in. We're not executioners. It's not who we are. And this guy switched on him real quick with the guy who had like the medicine.
Yeah,
in
exactly,
there,
yeah.
Who pretended to pee on himself, which is next
Some epic
level
shit, yeah.
next level manipulation because he was selling those tears. Like I really thought he was he's a low level.
Yeah, and
You know,
Tara was like, "So we shot every other savior without talking to them. I would have shot him anyway. What, you gonna shoot me, Jesus? I would have just pulled the trigger."
Jesus
Oh,
literally
man.
tried to take the wheel. Like he's been trying to take the wheel the entire time. He's trying to control the situation. But I appreciate that. You know, we're talking about the problem with this. Everyone seemed to be on the same side.
Mm-hmm.
We're seeing so much conflict within them, within Rick, within Daryl, within Jesus, within Morgan, within Tara, trying to decide the
right thing to do.
The right thing to do. In war, you have to do ugly things to win.
That's like that's pretty much what the
Yeah.
King Ezekiel was saying.
Yeah.
King Ezekiel, he knows that this is a possibly losing battle. He needs to show the pride and keep the morale up. He
Yet I
knows they have
smile.
to do. Yeah, that's all about morality. He
Yeah.
keeps them going. He already knows what ugly shit they're about to step into, but he can't let that way falter.
So back to the Jesus and Morgan dilemma, which is a dilemma. It's like the vigilante versus the savior, so to speak. Like Jesus the savior versus the vigilante.
Jesus has always lived up to his name.
Yeah, he's been very forgiving.
Always.
He's been
Even when he first showed up and screwed them over that food
so
truck
mischievous.
so bad. It was he was Loki that episode.
Yeah,
but
yeah,
but
it really gave me
he has
Loki
always
vibes.
been the I'm only messing with you kind of guy. I
Right.
just want good things at the end of the day. You know, hence how he aimed the gun at Daryl's head just to shoot the walker behind him.
Mm-hmm.
And then Daryl's like, thanks. And he gave him that, gravity
little-
changer. And we have Morgan, who went from he's been to both spectrums of the insanity. Both spectrums. He's been, I gotta clear, where he would kill anything that walks, to I don't want to step on his grass because the antelope eat the grass and they're all part of the circle of life. Like he was on that super hippie shit. Like he was OD peaceful.
And I think what turned him over was seeing that young kid lose his life. I
Yeah.
remember when he chose his little Padawan, his little trainee,
Padawan, yeah.
teaching him
Yeah.
how to use a staff, and then
his
that was
Padawan put him back to like he has to fight,
to save, to protect.
but he still wasn't killing. It wasn't
Yeah.
until he saw Carol get gunned down.
yeah, and it was just like, oh,
It was when
no.
Carol got involved in because she also was going through her, circle of life.
So I have a question for both of you, based on those two characters, right?
Jesus
Who
and
do you
Morgan.
agree with the most?
Morgan.
Yeah.
I knew that the moment you said those two characters.
Yeah.
I like Jesus, and
In a just
he's a
world.
great character in a just world, but in this world, he's too good
Nice.
for what he has
He's
to do.
too nice.
The good die young.
He needs to be the hand of the king, and the king he needs to advise is dictatorship, because he needs to be the Herschel to Rick.
Yep.
That's where he's coming in.
I agree. You know, Morgan, like I said, leaps and bounds. So when it comes
he goes
down
to
to
both
it,
extremes, which is the hard thing about him. I side with him because we legitimately know what he's been through because he's been there since day one, very literally.
Listen,
yeah.
He's the first character we got introduced after
right,
it.
Yeah, yeah.
right.
He's the very
He's
first
been
child.
through the rinse, man.
His
He's been
son's
through
dead.
it.
And
It's
he's
like,
trusted before, and it worked
come
out
on.
in his favor. Hence, Rick is in his life.
Yeah.
Right.
That's when he trusted and worked out in his favor.
Mm-hmm.
Now, him holding back and resisting to kill is what cost him his own son. Because he couldn't kill his wife.
Couldn't. I
All
remember that
those days he
scene.
couldn't kill her. And then she finally got in there, and he just stared at it. He couldn't kill her until he saw the son die.
Okay, so you want to be on Morgan's side. I want to know why.
Because Morgan's like Robin to me at this point, because he's over here ripping people to shreds. Like,
is he like a Damian Wayne? Just doing what's necessary.
I kind of feel like he's more like a Todd.
Oh.
Because he's like doing what needs to be done and stuff. Like, he's like, all right, he's remembering flashbacks of what freaking Rick told him in the church. We have to hit them first before they hit us.
That flashback.
No one from Savior should be alive. Triggered. What'd he do after he got knocked out? After he got shot? He got back up, woke up next to a dead body.
I'm gonna explain what he is. It just hit me. Here's my metaphor for this. You know me, I got a metaphor for everything. Morgan is literally a gray Jedi. Literally a gray Jedi.
Wow.
Because when he's fighting for good, he kills his emotion. Jedis are not supposed to have emotion.
Yeah.
You know, he's all calm, collected. Why do you think whenever in the Savior is all quiet, silent? I see somebody's enemy, pop. I drop you, and I'm moving. I am focused.
And
I'm level-headed.
All the Saviors out there.
Yeah.
Gotta go.
Then when he got shot, he took a bullet in the wing, and it's funny because he said, "I can't die," which was some like magical shit I've ever heard of. And he didn't die because I saw even when he got shot at the door, I saw him wing it with his shoulder. So I'm like, okay, he took it in the arm. He's gonna feign death, which he did.
Smart.
Then he switched on to the dark side.
Yeah, like he got reborn on the dark side.
Because then his kills were more brutal. He noticed he took the silencer off his gun.
Oh man,
Think about it.
He wanted to be found.
He had 2 guns that were silenced. He took one off and put the silenced one in his pocket.
Right.
And just started picking dudes off.
He wanted to be heard. He wanted to see them coming.
And then when he saw someone he had a grudge with, he put the gun to his heart.
Like, dang, that was hardcore.
That's what I'm saying. He's a Jedi. He went full dark side. He was officially fueled by rage, and that's what Morgan's conflict is, because
his emotions.
He's constantly in the gray, but he can never sit in the gray because he can only lean towards one side. And when he leans to a side, he's the extreme of that side.
Right. So, like you were saying, Morgan, you feel Morgan is like a Jason Todd, right?
Right.
In the sense of vengeance.
Sense of vengeance, because you know the kid he trained,
really
his young
that
Padawan, he got killed. But the moment he saw the dude that killed him, he said, "Nah, this is personal. Go straight to the heart."
Yeah, that was a.
They were like, "Yo, Morgan, chill."
And
chill.
Jesus steps in.
Nah, man.
Jesus trying to take the wheel, but Morgan want to keep on sinning.
You know what the funniest thing about that scene? For me to keep making, it's funny that I'm not even a fan of Star Trek, but I keep making all these Jedi references.
Sure. Sure.
But it was also metaphoric because he was in that dark hallway popping people. He stepped outside and saw the light. He saw Jesus, and he saw all the saviors with their hands up being captured, and he found some hope in that. There is redemption in this. Maybe we don't have to
kill all of them.
And then he saw that one dude.
That one dude set him off.
And it set off, and then now he was literally fighting both sides. And both sides literally came together at that moment. Because Jesus said, "No, we don't have to do this." And then that's when he asked, "What are we fighting for?"
What am I fighting for?
What am I fighting for?
Okay. So another conflicted character, Rick Grimes, is deeply conflicted. I saw some moments where he became unsure of his own mission after a while.
When he saw Morales, that changed everything.
That he was shook.
When he saw the baby and he saw Morales, that changed him.
That's exactly the notes that I made. Morales, baby, and a third one. When that savior shot at him, he gave him a warning. Listen, you don't have to do this. I don't want to fight you. You can leave right now. And the savior's like, you're outnumbered. You don't have to do this. Cool. He's like, you know what? All right, cool. Puts his hands up, put the gun down, and who pops him off? Daryl. Didn't hear what the guy had to say. Didn't take prisoners. None of that. And Rick got very confused. He looked at Daryl like, so you were just gonna like, we didn't have to do this right now. I want to hear what he had to say. I want to see if we could pick some information from this guy. Now he's dead. Daryl is incredibly tunnel vision. Like he doesn't think he didn't think twice about killing Morales. He didn't think twice. He saw, guys shooting at my friend. Bop. That's
He's an attack dog. He's always been that way.
An attack dog, and his mission is so black and white for him. Protect my family. Everyone else is an enemy. Yeah. And that's it. And that's maybe there's some comfort in that kind
that
of.
That is a very comfort mindset.
Comfortable.
That is a very comfortable mindset.
But that's gonna make Rick uncomfortable because he was talking to Morales and he was kind of having a breakthrough.
Well, let's look at it this way from Daryl's standpoint. Look at how conflicted we have the jokes about Rick for a reason. He goes from choral stage where he's crying and he's whimpering to
Swagger.
This isn't a democracy. Like he switches on us all the time. So Daryl's done with that shit.
He's done.
Yo, you're conflicted with these people who are legitimately our enemies through and through.
Right.
You're conflicted with people who are enemies through and through. These people have not only betrayed us, they have done unspeakable horrors to us and others very personally. And they choose to. This is their lifestyle.
Yes.
They deserve no mercy but death.
And to rebuttal, some of these saviors, not all of them are high level saviors who go out and harass people and
some
steal
of them
stuff.
Are forced into the
some of them
position.
are just like, well, we got nowhere else to go. Right? Morales he said they found me and I was just laying there waiting to die. And what was I supposed to do? I didn't know what these guys were capable of. I'm just trying to survive just like you. And if the gun was in your hand, my brains would be all over the floor. You would not hear what I had to say. And I'm here talking to you. And boom, there busts through, crossbow to the head. Which is, when does the killing stop? The violence does beget other violence. And that little fantasy he had about the future.
Yeah.
I am not a fan of that as a plot device. I'm not a fan of that as character development because it's trying to justify his violence or the use of violence to create this utopia. We've been trying to do that as humanity for a very, very long time, and it doesn't work. We can't kill for peace, but yet here we are.
I mean, it goes back to
He keeps
like you said,
carving
you
out.
got war is ugly things, and they are literally
ugly.
at war.
They're at war.
You can't make peace. You can only make peace with your enemies, and if they're enemies, you have to consider what your enemies are doing. And when you're looking at enemies who go to the extreme because of their sheep mentality and who their leader is, there's almost no hope for them because of that sheep mentality.
Right.
None of them have the courage or even the mental capacity to speak out for themselves.
Except for Dwight or something like that.
Exactly.
Dwight literally risked his life and went all the way over there and said, listen, I can't be there anymore. I'm done. This is too much for me. I'm at your mercy. You can kill me right now. You know what I mean? If you think I'm a spy or whatever, and whatnot.
I do love his exchange with Daryl with
the
the arrow message thing.
Yeah, that was cute. That was cute.
I was digging that.
I like that.
Because he was just sitting there by the bike. He's like,
so we've reached kind of an impasse, right? We want to kill all of the saviors. Those are a lot of people.
Yeah.
And some of them
very capable hands too.
Hands. A lot of them are very skilled. A lot of them have children
Yeah.
who have no idea what's going on. So when he killed that man who had the baby in the next room, he had to look in the mirror for a second.
Yeah.
Am I this guy?
Yeah, pretty much. No, it's more so, am I this guy who kills? He's seeing himself, I killed another version of me.
Exactly. That could have been you there protecting Judith.
Mm-hmm.
And some guy coming here to kill me and stuff like that.
And it's the 4 timelines, because it was literally 4 different timelines that we saw. It was jumping a lot of time travel with this.
Yeah, The Walking Dead does that quite a bit. There is no linear way of going.
These opening episodes were all metaphors in some way.
Yeah, in some
nothing
way.
was cut and dry or face value. Everything had a meaning behind it.
Okay, this is one part that bothered me. Maybe this is stupid, whatever.
Okay.
It's kind of stupid. So you remember we talked to Morales, and he's mentioning the fallen, right? The fallen family members, right? And I know he wouldn't know this character, but Abraham was omitted. You know what I mean? I always feel kind of tingly about that. I'm like, damn, he's literally sacrificed himself to protect y'all.
Yeah.
Even though Daryl leaped up and jumped over and sacrificed Glenn in the process, Abraham stood up.
You're legit.
And said, take
without
me.
second thoughts, I gotta kill somebody. Here you go.
I'm the guy. I'm not gonna sit here and watch people get killed. So
because at the same time, if it was anybody else who was killed, Abraham would have jumped up too.
Yeah.
We rip on Daryl because Glenn died. Fuck Glenn.
Yeah.
Sorry, Ling, but I don't care.
Yeah.
It's any one of them who are hotheads would have jumped up.
Yeah.
The fact that it was randomly Glenn who got killed, that could have been anything. He could have been bashing out Michonne.
Yeah. That
Either
would have
way,
been an ugly situation.
Exactly. So it's regardless of which, you have the hotheads who are going to snap.
Right.
People want to point fingers because they caught in their fills, but
wasn't gonna wait for anyone else to do anything brash. You're already in a really bad situation. Let me just take this L because his purpose. I feel he found his purpose with this team and whatnot, and he sacrificed himself, thinking that this is it. I sacrifice myself. They'll live some sort of life without this. So for him to omit Abraham's name, I felt some type of way. Even though Morales wouldn't know him, I'd be I'll explain to you how brave this man was and what we've been doing trying to survive. I am not the enemy. So you know what he called him that made me laugh? Officer Friendly. I cracked up because we remember old school Rig who used to wear the hat. He had the whole get up. He's like, you are no longer that man anymore. You are something entirely else. And he's like, absolutely right. The path to hell is paved with good intentions.
Oh, yes.
And that's what Rick is on right now. When you are murdering people left and right, you have to think about you're killing someone's father, someone's parent, someone's mother. You're killing people who have children, who have sisters and brothers, and you have to live with that. You don't get to feel bad later. You don't get to go on a guilt trip now. We don't want prison Rick.
But that was also the speech they gave at the first episode too. They specified, don't feel shame and don't feel they are feeling it anyway, though. And they specify don't feel shame.
You know
They're
what's
feeling the
crazy?
shame.
None of these characters that I've seen so far have had like war experience, like military experience that I've seen thus so far, except for maybe one who could literally say how war is like when it's out there.
Oh, Abraham.
Abraham is gone because he knows what it's out there. That's why he survived so long, and that was it.
Now, since we were talking about these people who don't know war experience,
Carl,
can I? No, not Gohan, not yet.
Not yet?
Because I know you gonna have you got to go after your boy. I am very annoyed at the amount of shots fired and how long it took for somebody to get hit.
right? It was like
I'm
stormtrooper.
sorry,
Status.
exactly. It was some stormtrooper thing. And here's the thing about it now. One can pitch the argument, excluding the saviors, but specifically like Hilltop and them, because they were all farmers.
Yeah.
Keyword, farmers. They have all been practicing how to shoot these guns so they can go to war.
Yeah.
They're not going to be experts, but damn it, they should have hit somebody. That's the first thing
some of
about
these
them.
got nicked.
And the thing that really, 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 really bothers me that it was so like they had the advantage with the shielded cars and blindsiding them, catching them off guard. They should have took out a lot more saviors in that front yard.
Right.
And and the reason why I paid, like I said, they were farmers. But then I thought about it. What is the most deadly way to kill someone? Assassination. What do we know in human history? What is the most deadliest form of assassination? Ninjas. Ninjas are literally just farmers who rebelled against samurai. That's exactly where ninjas come from.
Right. Wow.
The size, all their weapons are gardening tools.
Right.
So that I'm looking at this now.
This
like,
is an opening for them.
I'm watching this. I'm like, you guys are the ninjas rebelling against the samurai who are oppressing you, and you couldn't hit nobody.
Right.
Like them
It
bullets should have been personal.
Ever.
Yeah, that was bothering me.
You get a little shoulder shot.
Like I felt like I was watching. I can't even say I was watching Call of Duty because at least people get shot.
Right. And what it comes down to is that this has not been my favorite season so far. Like
it will be
the Walking Dead, the actual undead are weaponized. They're no longer a threat.
Seriously.
This has turned to a whole other show.
Yeah.
It should not be called The Walking Dead. It's just they're the background noise at this point. That's it.
Rick said, "We are the Walking Dead."
Yeah, and is this working? Can you watch 10 more episodes of this? Where can this go?
And this has to pretty much end here unless we're going to end up another Supernatural.
Oh, no.
And here's prime example why zombies
no.
literally cannot become a threat unless all the saviors they kill all get up and start walking with fresh bodies. But here's an example of why zombies mean nothing. And if they try to make zombies a threat again, I'm done with the show.
Right.
When Gabriel got to the room with Negan. Gabriel. He was legitimately surrounded. He wasn't like Tara or Glenn where they had a gun and some body armor. He literally just didn't shoot. He didn't fire one shot with the gun he had.
Right.
He just walked to the door and they tried to grab him. He's like, "Oh no, let go of me." And then he kept walking.
Oh no.
Like legit. Like Knuckles from Sonic Adventure. Oh no. Like he just kept walking.
Oh no, my God.
And that's what bothered me. I'm like, this proves how non-threatening the walkers have become. You cannot make them a threat again. You cannot. Hence, when they walk how Ezekiel and Carol walked through the forest, they saw a walker and he's like, "Oh, this one's mine." The axe to the head, quick. Stray zombies all over the place. They see the horde. They're like, "Oh, we'll just redirect the horde."
Sure, because they're like cattle, huh?
Honestly,
They are.
The cattle.
They just sheep them around.
They sheep them around. Hey, push them over there.
So it's like this is The Walking Dead. Walkers were the last time the walkers were a threat is when the governor was still around.
Right.
Yeah. And I find it ironic that before Carol and them went on a chase for this dude, there was a walker that looked exactly like the governor.
Oh, did you see? Yeah, okay. Now I wasn't going crazy.
Yeah, he literally had the eye patch.
And he had the hair and everything.
He looked exactly like.
Snap! I thought it was like, okay, I'm gonna let that one go. Like,
I thought I was tripping, so because I was watching it on the internet, so I rewind. I'm like, that looks just like him. Could that be him?
So I have a question. So we only have 3 episodes in. Who is your favorite thus so far?
Tara.
Morgan.
I like Ezekiel. I don't know.
Oh wait, the king.
Oh,
the king.
All right,
He's
so
the man.
Ezekiel, I'm not gonna pick him as my favorite because the guy is the hype man. All right, that's like going to a basketball game and saying you like the cheerleaders. Like they're supposed to put you in a good mood. He ain't done nothing yet.
He really has it.
He's just keeping the mood up. Every time they cut to one of his scenes, I'm like, if he didn't have such a particular form of vernacular and articulation,
he's like,
he's like
if
the
it wasn't,
cult, yeah.
if he wasn't H.P. Lovecraft speaking all the time, I wouldn't care about anything that happened in his scenes because nothing happened during their scenes really.
I think I like his effect on Carol. I like how
he's giving her hope
because
because she has been looking at the flowers for days. She's been looking at the flowers for days. She just wants somebody to take her out of her misery.
Yeah, and it felt
She's so depressed.
I understand he's a hype man. I get that. I feel that. I like Ezekiel because he's like, his persona is so manufactured, and it's clear he does theater, and I just see him like as a side character in Game of Thrones. Like he just exists in that universe.
He definitely is straight from Game of Thrones. That's all I was thinking when he spoke.
Fresh off the dragon, man.
The idea, it makes me think about what he was in his previous existence. Right?
Oh, he went to the school of many faces. He was in Bravos.
Him being like a zookeeper and doing theater for the weekend. It makes me think about who Negan was.
Oh, what that jobs prior
to. Who they
to?
were and everything. And how Negan has this armor. No, we don't know what his last name is. We don't know anything about him.
Who's them?
Negan, like so far in the show.
You haven't seen.
That's a good thing.
You gotta wait.
And the fact that he is like.
It's coming up.
Has this mystery about him, you know what I mean? And that's his power. His mystery is his power. His charisma is his power. Ezekiel's power is very different. It's he lets Carol know. Yeah, he inspires and Negan destroys and punishes.
He's a group leader who didn't want to be voted for group leader.
Yeah, he's the benevolent king. You know, the best of us. You know what I mean? The one who leads us into battle with flags waving, and he's the inspiration. So that's why I find him very interesting. Well, I understand why someone would follow him.
Yeah,
but
obviously.
Don't understand someone would follow with Negan and would stay and take those L's.
That's what makes me wonder. He didn't start off this way. I feel he had a governor.
issue. My information is from the comics because I
still
read it.
Go right ahead.
So I'm not gonna even explain it because I'd rather let you guys watch it so you can get a take.
And you also have to consider that they change things in the show too, so it may not be matter of fact. Hence, like Game of Thrones is completely different from the book.
And also the same way how they keep showing like freaking Rick showing like he's sick and everything. You know how you said the zombies are weaponized? I'm gonna leave that at that right there.
Well, are you suggesting biological warfare?
I'm suggesting cross.
Ooh. About time.
Ooh.
We've talked about this. It needs to happen because that's a game changer right there. Every bullet will count.
Yeah.
You get shot, that could be it. That could be it for you. I'm like, that makes it more interesting. And I wish The Walking Dead, the actual zombies, would evolve into something. They're decaying.
Listen, what they're supposed to do. This ain't Resident Evil zombies.
I know. I want them to do something.
You want a liquor. That's what you want.
I want some monsters.
She wants these zombies to start doing parkour and start chasing after these fools.
We don't need that.
Dawn of the Dead type. Those are too much.
We good.
First of all, they're too fast. It all became Usain Bolt. Like,
yo, for real, they all tapped into the Speed Force.
And I'm like, that's why they died so quickly in Dawn of the Dead. Like, they're too fast.
They get shot.
Look at that dumb, crazy
speed. Villain, my villain.
Oh, hey.
Hi, Darkened Hour.
Hi, Darkened Hour.
Hey, I wonder who that could be.
Right?
Joshua X, No Heart. Or maybe it's not.
That's not. Villain, my villain. Is this Mickey D's in the roof for me?
No, it ain't for nobody. It's for me. That's for me later.
Nah, I do want some of that food.
So, regarding the future, how do you imagine The Walking Dead ending, if it ends this season? If you could give it the best ending possible.
All right. The best ending possible is if it comes down to Rick and he's surrounded by walkers, and it's just him and Negan. And they're pretty much like, it's like, I could kill you or we could work together to get out of this.
They could pull
all right? So they literally try, like, somehow they fall together, like kind of like how Eugene, where I can kill this guy. I'm going to stick to my grudge. I'm not listening to Gabriel. I'm going to follow Negan into this dark corner. I'm going to die, but I'm going to take out the tyrant at the same time. Carl can hold it down. He's the Lord of Winterfell. We're good. So he's going to follow Negan. It's going to be some kind of isolated area where they didn't know Walkers was in, had like a hole in the back of the building or something like that. And Rick finally gets Negan in the corner, and Negan's got his bat.
Oh, I can't wait for that.
And he's like, all right, I got these bullets. You might miss with that bat. I ain't gonna miss with this gun. Like it's gonna come down to that situation. So Negan's gonna suave talk his way out, and he's gonna go for a swing. Rick's gonna get a panic shot off and actually shatter the base of the bat, hurting more of Negan's pride. So Negan's gonna try and hit him with the sharp end of the bat since it's now short. He comes up in close and he goes for it. So now they're getting a real close combat. Rick's got his hatchet, so they're really getting close personal cue cuts here, and then they realize that they're scuffling around. The walkers are starting to like surround them. They're like, okay, we got decent hand-to-hand weapons. The gun slid somewhere in the distance, so I can't get it now because, dark rooms. We got to fight this way. If I can kill you.
The ending is it doesn't end. This is the world now. And Rick is killed as a human because he's been nuts for a couple seasons already anyway.
I feel like someone's trolling.
Troll.
What am I fighting for?
What am I fighting for?
So they come to the conclusion. I was like, okay, we'll work together, and then we settle the score. So they actually work together, and somewhere in this man they start to understand each other a little bit more because it's an old thing where you don't really know someone until you fight with them.
Oh, Negan becomes a new leader, and life goes on because it is what it is.
It's Josh. So
definitely.
All right, he's about to get put in Heffel and ignored from now on.
Okay.
But as soon as they get out the building, there's they're basically fighting through the horde, but there's pretty much no end to it because it's the freaking horde, and they're getting winded out. So then Daenerys comes with the dragons and burns all the walkers, and she tells them to get on the back of Drogon, and Negan, he gets on the back of Drogon, and Rick turns around and is like, no, I need to get one more kill.
That's so good.
And Carl dies because of the sake of the fact that he needed to get one more kill.
This is how I would end it.
Well, actually, while they're fighting, Carl's back at Winterfell, and
dies. No.
I'm just imagining the crossover,
and
it's like the literal clash of aesthetics.
They get attacked, and since Carl, he's on the top of the fort scouting out, and there's one explosion that startles him, and he falls off, and he becomes a cripple, so he becomes the third eye raven. Or the one-eyed raven.
Now this just turns to fan fiction.
well, Carl becomes the one-eyed raven in this case.
What do you even say?
This turns to fan fiction.
No, besides that,
someone needs to write this down. Okay, so this is how I would end it.
Yeah, but realistically, though, that's how I would end it, where these two are forced to work together.
Ooh, that is definitely the buddy cop show.
And then
needed.
and it literally ends on a cliffhanger where we know they get out of the horde, but we don't know what happened to either.
You want a cliffhanger ending.
Yeah, a cliffhanger.
You don't want no resolution.
With the two top dogs, Rick leading the good guys and Negan leading the bad guys. The war is over. They've come to the thing where the saviors no longer have their leader. They surrender, so they're willing to accept this new life. So we have the 3 villages. The saviors can run their own stuff, and then they just set up the militia where they actually create a utopia now that they have no ambitious leaders to dominate.
Right? No.
Hell, there's only a leader with ambition to dominate.
Right.
Because even though we see Negan as a villain, he was just an ambitious leader.
He wanted more.
Even though
and more
Rick
and
is
more.
considered a good guy, he was still an ambitious leader. Look how they took over Alexandria. So they have these really egotistical guys leading
He has
them.
a political ambition.
We need someone like Jesus. We need someone like Ezekiel. We need someone like Maggie.
To ground them.
Exactly, where these people can be just as tough as the last guys, but they prefer the peace route.
Right.
And that's why it'll help where we lose these two ambitious people and we don't know what happened to them. Carl's starting to go. He's helping Sadiq or whatever the Indian guy's name is. So it's we already know Carl was going back to the side of good because he was on some loose ends too.
Yeah.
So we're seeing everybody who was wild and crazy kids are coming back down to earth. Right. And that's where I would like to see where Negan and Rick kind of come down to earth and is you know what?
Wow.
We're not meant for that world that they're going to create. And they go on their own way. They can hate each other and separate, but they do not belong in that world.
They don't belong together on the same plane.
Yeah.
Y'all need to go somewhere else. We'll be here. Like a peace treaty.
Pretty
almost.
much. A peace treaty, and then they legit both just go.
Right.
Where Rick's dream of metaphor is where it's ironic because he's old. He's older. Everyone's older, so to speak. But no one really looks older. We have this mysterious Judith who's an older girl, but we never see her face really. We have him grayed out where Michonne's still the same. She hasn't aged a day. So it's a weird metaphor where everyone's going to live unhealthy. You're going to die out. The limping and stuff like that. He's not going to last.
Wow. I think I would end it on some Dark Knight Returns end where Batman fights the gang leader. And they're all it's brutal. I want a hand-to-hand combat.
Mutants.
I want the mutants. I want a hand-to-hand. I want no weapons. I want hands. Nothing.
I would like some hands.
So I'm tired of people shooting at each other.
I'm sick of the shooting by far. Very sick of the shooting. That's why my final battle came down to
I want all the bullets to run out.
A broken bat and his hatchet. We guys gotta get close and swing. Yeah, legit. They're you know what? We'll agree. We tie our arms together. And we go at it.
One man doesn't leave. One man doesn't leave here.
Yeah.
Because we can't live in this world together, clearly.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's the kind of fight that I want.
Yeah.
I want that kind of bloody. I want them to be tired, beat themselves senseless, and then decide, what do we do? One character doesn't die, but gets humiliated. Just like the way the mutant leader did.
Exactly,
He didn't kill him. He humiliated him and made the saviors leave him and leave Negan on the outside by himself because his power is his crew.
He's another Gregory.
His power is the people around him. You take that away from him, who is he?
I mean, prime example how he walked outside. The first one to walk outside, unarmed, unarmored, swinging his bat, talking about his dick is bigger. Like the
Literally,
guy,
yes.
What's the word I'm looking for? He just has so much pride. It's hard to shatter it.
It's like supreme confidence.
Yeah.
It's absurd amount of confidence. Where you're like, you realize there's guns, bullets flying everywhere. And you just got your leather jacket on. You ain't got no armor. You don't.
Leather jacket was good enough because these niggas couldn't even hit him.
They still couldn't. They still couldn't touch him. Like he has a god complex a little bit. He feels like he's literally untouchable at this point.
You should go pick up that comic, by the way, guys. And the comic's really good.
Oh, God complex.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's also really good.
From Image Comics.
Also,
go ahead.
when it comes down to it, I do want a dirty battle.
Yeah.
No guns, no
matter
shooting.
what, it has to be
And I
personal.
want all the bullets to run out. All the call shooting is just us.
No, that's what I was saying. That's what I
Yeah.
wanted. Yeah. I got a gun that's low on ammo. You got Lucille. I'm gonna win this. Ha ha ha.
Pop,
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 oh,
pop.
you slapped this on my hand, but I like break your bat in the process.
Right.
Now we got to touch each other.
Because they haven't touched each other. Negan's always looking down at him. They always got
Exactly.
all this distance. I want to break that barrier and now if they renew the season for season 9, I don't know where the story's going. I'm lost. I don't know.
Season 9 would be the breaker of my cliffhanger, but these guys cannot exist in this world that's gonna be
One
made.
has to go.
Where like the utopia is built on where it's inner conflict with them because they're dealing with saviors now with some peace people. It's like, okay, they're working together.
Right.
There's gonna be some ambitious people that they're gonna have to pick off in conflict. You're gonna have Mr. Attack Dog Daryl, and you know they'll handle their conflict the way they know how to do best. You know, but it's the real interesting story where we're almost watching another. It's as if we're going back to Fear of the Walking Dead, where it's just a small group, just 2 characters right now, finding somewhere to go, learning how to deal with each other.
Yeah.
Because we both lost our party. Rick is changing. Everyone's changing around Rick. Some people don't like Rick's ways. Some people are full behind him, Tara. And
Yeah,
it's
Tara was like,
getting,
Rick
it's getting to the
listen
point
me.
where like they're all Hellas now.
Yeah. Everyone wants to dominate and destroy, but nobody wants to govern.
Nope.
Exactly.
Everyone's dead, and who's there to govern?
Everyone's a Peter Baelish.
Who watches the
Yeah.
Watchers?
So what do you think the ending of this season should be? Based on the show, based on what you've seen so far.
I mean,
Well,
just-
season or show?
I
Because
mean-
I did it as like if the show.
oh, the
was
show
ending.
is ended. Do you pick and choose? Because I know it's pretty big. A pretty big question.
I want the season to end with like just a big slug out. Like it's just a arena, a custom-made arena. Like I just want zombies in the bottom of it. They just Yu Hakusho Dark Tournament again. Just throws the knife in the back of them, and it's like whoever.
Worst things. That's some shit that the governor would do.
It's like they fight.
That definitely is wrong.
Nah, but you know.
Yeah.
I mean, it'd be cool.
It would be a different change of pace because
Just
it's been
fighting
really
each
dreary.
other, and whoever falls like
It's been just a firefight.
no, whoever like ends up like losing stamina falls in a pit of zombies. I'm okay with that.
Who would you put your money on a hand-to-hand combat
Rick.
between Rick? Oh, we never seen Negan fight.
We haven't seen him do anything but swing his dick in a bat.
Exactly.
He probably can't even fight.
I'm telling you.
A lot of
Wouldn't
them is all
that
talk.
be? Wouldn't that be the censure? He can't even throw hands.
Well,
Wouldn't
I
that
mean,
be something?
but that wouldn't surprise me, though.
It wouldn't.
It would surprise.
that big
it wouldn't
talk.
surprise me either. But at the same time, you have to think about all the
Do you
people.
really wanna test him?
out of all the people,
Save his energy.
No. I'm saying out of all the people he has under his thumb to rule a whole colony, they had to be scared of him for a reason.
His talk, his threats. It's very easy to manipulate people who are already scared.
Cool and all. That's because he had
just
numbers
wish I
on
would at
him.
least
But I'm
see-
talking about like when they first met him, when he had no posse whatsoever. It's just him.
Guaranteed he did like Eugene and he created a posse through words alone.
All right.
I bet
See
you
what
he's
happens.
like, okay, if I could build Negan's past life, he was probably a gym teacher or something, or you know what I mean. He used to push the young kids around. Like, oh yeah, you got to do this, that, and the other. He's probably super unathletic. You know what I mean?
I mean, he's
this
not
thing
athletic
happens,
right now. Like-
and he has like this complex, this ego. He wants to still dominate people, and he treats it like a sport. He does treat it like he's a coach, and you all are.
Because the way I see him, he's
Yeah.
like Ramsey Bolton. We already knew that Ramsey Bolton was worse than Joffrey. And he could actually fight. He could go to war. But when it came down to actually fighting someone one-on-one,
He was trash.
he was trash.
Yeah, I saw that scene between Jon Snow and him.
Exactly.
He
It's like
thrashed him.
you would kill someone. You would get your hands dirty, but in your own comfort zone.
Right, when I'm tied
When you-
up,
when you have
or I'm
if
captured,
you have some kind of home field advantage, you'll get your hands as dirty as you want them to be.
you'll get nasty. That's
But-
Negan. You're right. That's a good analogy because we've never seen Negan like really roll up on somebody and just roll up his sleeves. Like, okay, let's get it.
And which he could easily have done.
And his mode of punishment is always like it's not one-on-one. It's always he's always sending someone else to do something.
Because the way I see it as, he behaves a lot like the Joker. I don't gotta have hands. I could take a hit, and that's the worst thing. I could take a hit, and then I'm gonna redirect everything.
Right.
And that's how he operated. Daryl swung at him. He didn't do jack to Daryl.
He kind of was like, oh, okay.
He laughed it off.
He's always laughing. He's like, oh.
So
okay.
and then he redirects it to Glenn. That's a huge way to scare people. Like, you don't even care you got hit. You told on somebody else. The guy who hit you walked away clean. What's really like? People will fear insanity more than they'll fear your hands.
The instability, the unpredictability of it all. You're like, whoa, you went left field. You went left field. I thought you was coming straight for him.
Who's a bigger threat, Bane or Joker?
We all know the answer to that.
Exactly.
Because Bane is predictable. The Joker with insanity, and he does this, he does the other. There's everything's a game. Everything's a joke. So there's always a punchline. So, any final thoughts?
I have a question.
Oh, sure.
Because you know I'm tired of the show. I only got into it because you mentioned the season. I didn't care to watch the season at all, but I'm glad I did. It's good stuff.
It's
but that's how Walking Dead always is. First episode of season, hype. 5 episodes in,
filler.
Like, I feel like I'm watching anime. But
character development.
what
episodes.
keeps you following the series as a whole? Is it a character? Is it the story? Or is it just looking for that closure?
Negan.
Or something else?
I am looking for closure. You know, first episode was 2010, and I can go weeks without watching it. You know, not like
clearly did.
Yeah, we went weeks without even thinking about it. And I made a Darkened minute about the trailer, and I forgot about
the season. Same as me. Same idea. You made us like, oh, that's right, new season's coming out.
And whoop, Stranger Things 2 took full effect. And I wasn't even thinking about that show.
For real.
So what keeps me in is a sense of closure. There's good moments, but as the template's becoming stale. Is losing its wind. I can feel it. I can feel the show losing its steam. And they're not really taking risks. You know a character is going to die in an episode. You know when they're going to survive. They have these little tricks they do. Like, no character dies alone. Someone always witnesses it. You know what I mean? It's become, like, cliche after a while. The strings are showing, so to speak, of how they operate the season. So, yeah, okay, cool. They have some good moments. The actors are amazing, and that keeps me coming because they're good at what they do. It's the actors and it's closure. So I want to see how they wrap this up. Now, if we get to season
9 and Rick kills Death,
we're done.
And then Crowley releases the governor from hell.
Yep. If we get into that supernatural realm where it doesn't know how to end the show and the fans are literally keeping it on a respirator.
And then this whole time they read this final letter and it was actually Gareth's fucking spell to drop all the angels from heaven.
Yes, that's the moment where I stop watching.
Yeah,
that's where we're done.
As soon as the angels fall from heaven and Gareth is like, haha, you fell for it.
And there's too much on TV to be watching right now. There's so much to be watching. You watch stuff like World War Z.
There's
that's
a lot
like
of
zombie. There's a lot of contenders out there, and Walking Dead needs to understand they're not on top anymore. These episodes are getting lower and lower ratings from like fans who started from way back when. They're not. The hype is there, but not as rampant as it was last year when Negan got introduced. When it was fresh blood, it was like, okay.
Fresh blood and the turn of Game of Thrones. We lost valuable characters in a minute.
And that's the hype was back, and then it sunk.
Because that season dry as hell.
It was just, that one episode with Tara that nothing happened. Literally nothing happened. Nothing resolved. No plot. It took forever for the war to even kick off. The conflict even because it was just dry and that whole season needed a tall glass of water. It needed a tall glass because boy, it needs some hydration.
It needed some gallons.
It needed gallons. Just pour. But that's me. What about you?
Being right back to watching season 8 all over like the first 3 episodes and stuff like that and catching up. I am just still waiting for you guys to see what's gonna happen.
Oh, are we in store for something?
Yes.
That's what keeps your knowledge of the comic book keeps you watching.
Exactly. That's why I'm not gonna go ahead. Everybody's like, oh no, like the same time when I told you guys, oh, Glenn's gonna die. Oh no, he's not. It's not following the comics. No exceptions. Bang.
No exceptions. Right. I mean, Glenn's death's always been hinted.
It always has, but I'm still waiting for Rick to lose his arm since season 1.
I need that. I kind of want that.
I want Captain Rick. I want Captain Rick. I want Captain Rick.
Edgy Aquaman. That's what that is.
What else? Waiting for you guys to. I'm waiting for you guys to start crying thug tears soon.
I'm probably not gonna cry thug tears if it's not.
Yes, you are. Yes,
it
you
better
are.
be somebody who matters.
It's an animal. It's an animal.
Oh, Shiva. So what?
No, you're lying. You'll see what happens there.
I'm not worried about the tiger. I've never been attached to that thing.
No, I know
that CGI tiger.
There's people who are attached to it that I know.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Not me. I'm not. I could care less.
I could care less to it, but it's like you know
that tiger. That tiger's not Namiria.
It's cool.
That tiger's not Ghost.
It's not Raja.
That tiger's okay.
Aladdin.
Raja.
To me,
Yeah.
to me, she was alright. She was okay. And I gave everybody liking Ezekiel because he's controlling a tiger. Just dope.
Big O is the shit.
He's talking about an anime.
Sure. Let's be off topic.
Anyways,
sure, go for it.
But
so it's the knowledge of the comics.
Knowledge of the comics. I just want to see everybody's reaction when things happens, and they just.
And you assume they're going to.
Yeah.
They might have to do that.
Yeah.
The ratings aren't good enough to do your own story at this point.
If you're changing the story, if you're changing the story based off our comic or whatever, and your ratings aren't going right, it's best for you to start tagging along on the.
Follow
take a little nitpicks from the.
Because even the comics ended, so they got to end the show.
Yep.
Right.
And you're definitely gonna have a season 9. Just letting you know.
Yeah, I'm not surprised.
Yeah, definitely.
All right.
Maybe they'll be able to convert a walker into a human or something like that
All right. So final thoughts.
Final thoughts. Let's wrap it up on season 9. Let's make it 10 episodes and call it a day.
My final thoughts. This is gonna be a long year and a half.
Right, and they do mid-season finale.
Oh no, I'm not talking about Walking Dead. I'm talking about when Game of Thrones comes back on.
Wow, you moved on.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, it was time for me to throw some real shade.
That was some real A-class shade right there. You just said, "Wait, we're talking about Walking Dead." What?
No, there are worse walkers out there.
Yeah,
I bet. Those are a threat than the Walking Dead in the show.
Yeah, you need a specific type of metal to kill them. Okay.
Okay.
Or fire.
Right.
Good luck.
Good luck. Right. So
Coral.
So shout outs, anyone? Shout out to Fortress of Solitude on 53 University Avenue in Newark, New Jersey. I visited there today. Jose is awesome. He has this really cool Stranger Things in there. I thought that was awesome.
Yes.
Yep. Shout out to Joker's Child.
Definitely.
In Fairlawn, New Jersey.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And also Moon Knight comics, guys. New one came out.
Yeah, for you Marvel heads out there, we do care about y'all.
Go get it. Just read it. You know why.
Anything for you, Aesop?
Shout out to Villainy Games. Shout out to OTR Podcast. Shout out to the Real Shit Talkers. Shout out to Speaking My Radio as a whole. Shout out specifically to Gnarly Marv, old villain, my villain, even though he didn't comment today. It's just been Josh trolling because, Dark Souls and whatnot. And shout out to Tyrese.
We hope you get your baby.
Give him his baby.
Don't take my baby!
Yeah.
First of all, shout out to Villainy Games for real. I watched their stream for the first, really sat and watched it.
I told you it's good.
So entertaining. I don't even know what's going on. I don't even play games like that.
It's just
and
a chat
I was
Marvin.
just like, Marvin was spectacular. Shout out.
He's such a
his burn chat, hilarious. I love it. I was just trolling that chat room. Oh my god.
If you're not watching a game, you gotta be in chat. It's
one
or
the chat is fire. Yeah. I love it. So as sun sets.
Wait.
Oh, you got something else? Sorry.
Also, people, next week, stay tuned. DC is dropping the most anticipated Bat Metal issue coming out, The Bat Who Laughs.
All right. I can't wait to review.
So, yeah, storm your comic stores. Break their doors.
Right. And also tonight is a new episode of Walking Dead. And I know you deadheads are probably all over that right now, sitting in front of AMC. Previously on The Walking Dead.
Previously on The Walking Dead.
Previously on The Walking Dead.
So, as the sun sets on this mortal realm.
As usual, guys, if you like this video, be sure to hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel if you want to see us do some more stuff on The Walking Dead or anything that's pop or geek culture. I'm Aesop the Alchemist.
Count Drogo.
Tia LaBeouf.
And we'll get back to you guys later. Cheers.
Cheers.